What's up, everyone? It is your girl, Beauty 7 here, aka Grace, and it's time for another Why You Don't Need, or Do You Really Need? So I have the palette I'm gonna put in this video. I might show some palettes at the end as far as comparisons as to why you don't need to pick up this palette. But this is, as you see here, the Kiss and with the Glamlite collaboration palette. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this palette reminds me of something I have. I couldn't remember exactly what it was, but after I took Adriangameover to school this morning, I got back in the bed and I thought about it. I was like, wait, this palette reminds me of something. And then I was like, it reminds me of the Beaute Bar Bejeweled palette, because I'm like, it has all the tone that this palette has in it. It just has lighter versions of those tones. So I feel like this is deeper. So if you like more deeper jewel tone versions of that palette, then this is definitely the palette for you. If you already own this palette, then just remind yourself to pull it out and don't succumb to the one from Glamlite. Even though I think it's really affordable for the color story and the amount of shades that you get. But I'm like, if you already have this, you don't need to get that, because this looks very similar. It just has deeper versions of those tones. And worst come worst, you can pull out a rainbow palette to have those airbrush shades and those transition shades, and you'll still have those dark out of V shades and those shades to work with this palette. So we're gonna use this palette today and make an eye look with this palette, the Bejeweled palette, to remind you as to why you don't need that and why you should pull out your Beaute Bar Bejeweled palette. I have my link down below to Beaute Bar if you're interested in purchasing this palette. So I don't know if it's coming out anymore. This was their holiday palette for 2023. So that's just something to keep in mind. But if you already have it, I'm just trying to remind you not to go out and buy the Glamlite one just because you saw that one and it was pretty for the moment. Like, you already have some of the tones, girl. Don't be buying it. If you're curious what's on my face, I do have on the Fenty Beauty blurring foundation stick. And then I mix it with the Makeup Forever HD Skin Glow foundation. So that's the combination that's on my face right now, if anyone was curious. I'm gonna go off camera, get my life in order, and then we're gonna do an eye look, and then you hear my thoughts, or we'll just wrap it up, girl. I'll be right back. Okay, girl? Okay, y'all, so here's the eye look I came up with using the Bejeweled palette from Beaute Bar. So I tried to focus on the warm tone section at the bottom. So these are the shades I chose. I felt like they look really similar to the swatches that I showed you all earlier from this palette. So I tried to stick to the bottom half as opposed to the top half, because we all know I came up here with a blue smoky eye. I've been totally fine with that. So I was like, let me try the warm tone side of the palette and see how that goes. So I'm gonna start off with this red shade at the bottom. That's the one I put in my crease. I actually put this pinkish purple shade toward the outer V. I figured I'd try something different, because y'all know I wouldn't normally put this shade there, but I put this one in the crease just to give us a little difference in flair. I'm trying to switch it up for y'all every now and again. Then I got this purple on the lid and then this red in the inner corner. So let's get to it, girl. Because this last video I'm doing tonight, Adriangameover is tired. We need to get home because someone has to go to school tomorrow. I still have to go to work tomorrow. So I'm not going to get to film my third video like I planned on it, because the computer wanted to act up when it came to the Nomad palette. And that's the one like I had to get done today, because I told y'all my community tab was going to be up at 6 in the morning. So I'm like, I'll probably be up to like 6 a.m. trying to edit and fix all this other stuff. Even though that one's already edited, but I'm going to have to edit this one, because this one has to go up Thursday to make sure you all see it before the 16th comes from that palette. When this palette launches, because I'm just like, yeah, you don't need it if you already have this. It has similar color tints that I'm trying to show you. So it's like, girl, don't even do it. Don't even do it. So every time I look up, y'all, the battery is flashing. Like, I just put in a new battery and then it flashes, and then I put in another new battery, it's flashing. I don't know what's going on with my battery. I don't know if they're old. I know one is pretty new though, so I don't know why it's doing that. And then the one that came with the camera, I rarely, if ever, use. So again, I don't know why it's doing that either. Let's go into the pink shade now though. So I'm gonna try to get done with what I can. I felt like these shades were gonna be a little too close when it came to oxidizing too, which is another reason I wanted to put on the outer V instead of putting it in the crease. But I figured these might be some of the tones you all might be interested in, because I know a lot of people like warm tones, even though I don't. So I wanted to make sure I use the warm tone half of the palette as opposed to the blues and the greens. I might do a blue-green week look later on this week, but I mean, I feel like if you have the Friday the 13th palette and the red velvet cupcake palette, that you don't necessarily need to get this palette, because those two palettes are similar. Also the Betty Boop palette, if you just wanted the warm tone part of the palette. Okay, so I think I was naming all the palettes that were similar. I was saying if you had the red velvet cupcake palette, that it has a nice similar warm tones to the bottom half of this palette. In my personal opinion, they're not exact, they're similar. And then I feel like if you have the Freddy Krueger palette, which is one, the one that looks like Smoke Session, then you have the top half of this palette for the most part. So I feel like if you have certain palettes in your collection that are just similar to this one, you can look at the what's that one, the one from, what's that woman's name? What is it? She did a collab with Sydney Grace. I don't remember her name at this moment, but like I feel like the colorful palette, Radiant Reflection, I think that's what it was called. The colorful one that she had might be similar to that. Now it's not gonna be exact. None of these palettes I'm naming are gonna be exact, but I feel like they could possibly be similar. So that's why I'm like, do you really need this palette if I can name off all these other palettes? Plus I feel like a lot of like the top row and the bottom row honestly just give me the vibes of their Halloween collection. So I'm like, what is really like unique to this one to where it's supposed to be so magical and wonderful that you should like rush out to get it? Like, because that's honestly how I'm feeling. Like, what's supposed to make this so wonderful I'm supposed to rush out and get it, other than like being a Kiss fan? And I don't remember, and like, don't get me wrong, I don't listen to Kiss, obviously I don't know too much about Kiss, but I thought they did more like the black and white situation. So I'm like, if you do the black and white situation, why are all these colors in this palette? That's what I'm confused about when I look at this palette. I'm like, there's so much color for a band who I only ever see wearing black and white. Like, I don't know if like some of their performance lights have different like tones and shades, and that's what like this palette's going off on. What? So can someone who watches Kiss or knows about Kiss actually comment down below and tell me what's going on with this color story? Because I feel like it doesn't give off Kiss at all. But since I don't know anything about Kiss, I'm asking, you know, a question more as trying to necessarily form an opinion. But yeah, so I was just like, I'm just confused on the color story itself, because they're the people that sing I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day, right? Isn't that them? So I'm like, I don't see them wearing anything that's really like colorful. But you know, okay. Anyway, let me go ahead and cut with this glitter glue. But yeah, so that was my main issue when I saw the color. I was like, I've never seen this band wear anything besides black and white. But you know, that's why I'm asking all the Kiss fans, if you happen to listen to Kiss and come across this video, like, can you comment down below and tell us if these colors like make sense for the band, or was it just like, you know, the aesthetic that they wanted to give with the palette, and I'm just missing something. We're gonna take the purple shade now. I showed y'all, I put all of my lid, but yeah. I've been feeling like lately that a lot of their palettes look really similar to other palettes, because I feel like lately a lot in this thing, I don't know if they're becoming like a more like higher end version of ColourPop, but I'm feeling like a lot of stuff is giving like the same as other stuff like ColourPop used to do back in the day. And I mean, I feel like they still do it now, but I feel like they've calmed down on launching a whole bunch of new palettes, and they've just been relaunching other stuff that they know people want, which to me is smarter, because it's like everybody gets tired of like you relaunching the same thing 50 times over in different packaging. If you just give the people stuff that they want in the past that you ran out of, it makes more sense, because you know that's guaranteed money, because they asked you for it, they want it, they've been waiting. So I'm liking the new approach that ColourPop is taking as far as that goes. As you can see, I'm just putting more of the fuchsia shade on the outer V. I'll probably put a little bit more red in the crease, but I'm like, it's making more sense for me what they're doing, like just relaunching a whole bunch of stuff. Like they relaunched the what was it, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer thing. They relaunched some other stuff. They relaunched the Twilight thing. So I'm like, I'm glad they're relaunching stuff as opposed to pushing out more stuff that people didn't necessarily ask them for or necessarily want, because it's just like, you know, we didn't ask you for it and want it, and you just keep giving the same thing and like maybe the slightest difference in undertone and like 40 and 50 different products. Like, people get tired of you after a while and not check for you, because I know I haven't checked for them in a while. Besides the Valentine's Day palette, it did look nice, but you notice I still didn't pick it up just because I was like, y'all doing too much of the same stuff and getting on my nerves now. So I'm scared and don't want Glamlite to become that. I also feel like Melt is doing a little bit of that too, like a whole bunch of dark tones and a whole bunch of like the same kind of aesthetic and the new vibe they're going in. I'm not necessarily a fan of either. So like some of the OG brands that I've like loved, and some of the newer brands I feel like are kind of like having a transition period, and I guess trying to figure out themselves in this space. And I'm not necessarily liking all of what I'm seeing, but you know, I'm not giving up on Glamlite that easy just because they're giving us a lot of similar color stories. But I know they try to keep the themes and stuff, and like guess a lot of the themes recent that they've come up with have similar color stories or something. I don't know, but this is my finished look with the Beaute Bar Bejeweled palette. Let me back you on up. But yeah, you can comment down below, and I really am genuinely asking about the what is it, the Kiss thing, because I'm like, I just don't remember seeing them with colors like that. So I'm just so confused right now, and I want someone's help. So really, if you have any information and you can help out with this, please do, girl, because I'm just over here just confused. I don't know what, like, when did they start doing these colors? in Kiss. The band that you see with black and white stars on their face and their face is painted black and white. Like, when did they start adding color to this whole scenario? But this is my finished eye look. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Comment down below and tell me if you agree about like any of the palettes that I named off. I'm gonna try to have a shorts up the day this video goes up to show you all like the other palettes that I was talking about. And be blessed, girl. Bye.